Oh, hey. Hey. This is,
Hi.
hi. This is Nathan. I'm James of Farewell Teddy. Um,
Take your time.
yeah.
Been through a lot. Actually, you could say that we've been through a lot,
You could say that.
but I won't.
You could say that we have a new album out,
You could say that.
but we're not going to.
No. Not in this political climate.
No, in fact, he's being modest, but the truth is we do have a new album out. It's an EP, 4-song EP called City Beautiful. What do we want to tell them about these songs, Nathan?
I'm gonna tell them anything and everything.
Okay, we'll start with anything.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, my favorite thing about these songs is, and this is what I've heard from several people, is that they're extremely musical. Would you agree?
I was thrown off by that too. It's not something you usually hear when someone's critiquing your songs. Is, they like niche things like melody and rhythm and lyrics.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if we're avant-garde, we're avant-garde.
Yeah. We can't help it. And Nathan, the title, City Beautiful, what the hell does that mean? So, City Beautiful, according to the Wikipedia page, what does Wikipedia say about City Beautiful?
Well, it says that there are no sources cited
Mhm.
and that there is no evidence that this is real. But from what I can gather,
But it does have a
is.
link to a little known short film by
Johann Dusseldorf.
yeah, famous German director. And you click on that, and then
It takes you back to Wikipedia, the same page, but you have to go through the film,
it's actually a link to Wikipedia.
just the whole site.
Yeah. So,
But anyway, City
The
Beautiful is a cool idea. It's kind of an offshoot of our first album, Brave New World's Fair, which you can find anywhere.
it's all over the place.
By that I mean like 8 sites online. But basically, it was an architectural movement back in the day that they, from what I can gather, they really thought that they could dictate morality, I guess, like bring up the human spirit by creating beautiful architecture and things of that sort, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. And I mentioned it to James.
And I thought it was a good idea.
Right.
And I mentioned it to you.
And I hated it.
Yeah. So
But
we
after
didn't do it for a while.
A lot of fighting and infighting, outfighting, and tie fighting.
Yeah.
We decided that it was a cool idea to just do a little EP that really the only theme would be taking place in a city, having to do with different characters. So you'll hear that in the EP extensively.
Yeah, especially if you listen to the lyrics. That's probably the dead giveaway for us.
Yeah.
With all of the messages, all of the content of the songs, we try to put in the lyrics.
Yes.
And the music.
We started out doing all the melodies and stuff and the drums alone, but it turned out those didn't translate as well, and
Yeah.
people couldn't really understand snare and kick as well as
Kick and
audible
snare.
audible English. Right.
Yeah, I mean that was our experimental phase. I still really like those initial recordings that we did for the album, and we may release those at some point. But for right now, I mean, City Beautiful is out. It's available.
It is.
You can download it on iTunes. You can listen to it on iTunes. You can listen to it on Spotify and several
can.
other sites. But the thing that I really learned from working on this album was that I don't know if I ever want to do another one.
Yeah, that's what most people will say when they inevitably do their follow-up EP from
Yeah.
an album based on an 1893 World's Fair architectural movement.
Yeah, here's a couple things, and I don't want to give too much away. I want you to go and listen to it for yourselves, but some people have questioned us using the word honky. And what would you say to our critics when it comes to that?
I'd say I'm on their side.
Yeah.
How dare we?
I mean, good point. And I think that was the point we were trying to make is we shouldn't get away with this.
We shouldn't.
and we're not going to.
No.
Wish there was a way I could catch on fire and it would end.
Yeah. Now, James. Now, James.
Yes, Nathan.
What kind of sounds, what kind of styles, what sort of vibes can these people expect? Now, I don't want to give too much away either, but
Yeah.
without giving too much away,
Well, over the course of 4 songs, I think people can expect.
drums,
Yeah, they could expect the drums to
Guitar.
come in. Yeah. Right. Guitar, give in.
kind of a niche instrument.
We threw in some bass, some keys, some vocals, and some exotic rhythms from around the world. We were really
Oh,
sampling
gosh.
all kinds of rhythms for this album.
Oh, God.
And you know, as I look back on the recording process that we had, we went in it not knowing what we were gonna do,
Right.
and we came out with a product that reflects that. I
Not
think.
knowing what we had done.
Yeah, until I didn't know we'd made an album until you told me last week, and that it was
Yeah.
up on Spotify. But
Came to me in a dream somehow.
yeah, now let's take a track. Let's break down. We're gonna deconstruct some of the album for you, for those of you that are into that.
So for the next 6 hours,
Yeah,
we're gonna go on a journey.
we're gonna take it one song at a time, one word at a time.
Right. Will actually be longer than what the actual album will be to listen to all the way through 10 times.
Yeah, it's kind of like. Now, would you say it's kind of like there's a book in the Bible?
Mormon.
Yeah. Would you say it's kind of like that?
I'd say it's a pretty much a note for note interpretation of the Book of Mormon via music.
Yeah. I was gonna wait and see who picked up on that, but since you gave it away.
Well, I already gave away that there's like music in it, so from there it's just
Yeah.
downhill.
Yeah. Now, I got 3 words for you. Nighthawk Blues.
Okay. Making sure you're.
What were we thinking?
What were we thinking? Now most people spell it Nighthawk, not Nighthawk. But
Mhm.
I don't want people to go, what's Nighthawk Blues?
Yeah, it's awkward to say.
Awkward to say, awkward to see, awkward to smell.
Awkward to hear. Hearing it, I feel a little sick to my stomach.
Yeah, well, it's probably the tea though too. This is so old.
Yeah, what'd you put in this tea?
It's not. It's what I didn't put in it. It's okay.
Anyways, Nighthawk Blues, that's one of the songs on the album that you can expect. San Francisco ideas. It's really, it's actually not about San Francisco at all. It was written when
Or
I was,
ideas.
yeah, it was written when I was in Chicago,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to give it away.
Chicago, Mississippi.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to subvert classic, tropes.
Right.
And I think I did that. And I think you helped.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
the original title of the album was Subverting Classic Tropes.
yeah, but
And-
it seemed a little
Generic.
obvious.
Yeah. Right.
And so we changed it to City Beautiful. But there's one story that I want you to tell that I feel like really encapsulates the entirety of what we were trying to communicate with this EP, and that's the story of you going to the laundromat with your Nana when you lived in Inglewood. And you used to go, you told me the story, you used to go when you were little, you went with your sister, and your Nana would always buy you candy.
She would.
Why?
Because I was a weird, strange child, and
Yeah.
I had this condition where I really, really enjoyed the taste of candy ever since I was a kid. So after pouring ketchup on my sister's head, which I enjoyed,
Yeah.
she did too.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? One day, there's a deer in the background.
I mean, I didn't want to go down this path, but since you brought it up, who's your favorite dead person?
Man, there's about 8 in the world living.
Mm-hmm.
But of the 8 living dead guys, I'd probably say my favorite.
Say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Fat
Joseph
Domino.
Stalin. That's what I meant.
I was gonna say Joseph Stalin, but I didn't think you were going
I was
to.
gonna say Fats Domino, but I didn't want to say it.
Well, I mean, I think this really cleared up a lot of things for our fans.
Right.
And,
I mean, we hit the 9 of the 7 top questions, right?
yeah. Should we say thank you to our fans now?
Thank you to our fans.
Thank you, Mom,
Now.
and Nathan's mom.
Thank
for,
you so much for listening, pretending to like,
Yeah.
pretending to listen,
Right.
you know? And now, before we move on, I think it only fitting that we read some of the reviews that our EP has gotten.
Oh, are you sure? I don't want to boast about. I mean, this album is getting critical acclaim.
Yeah.
And
From
the critics.
Right. It turns out, yeah, critical acclaim comes from critics.
Yeah.
You know, when we first started this thing, nobody was listening to us.
Should I sit on your lap for this?
Sure. No. When we first started this, nobody listened. And I'm still going through this. But after 2 years, an album, part-time jobs, World War II, and a slew of other things, we now have over 22 people listening to us on Spotify. And I just want to read some of the fan comments and such.
Mm-hmm. Start with the first one on there.
Oh, out of order, huh? Postmodern. Okay, so the Northern Old New Mexico Snowmobile Accessory Warehouse and Emporium says
They're a scholarly publication, if there ever was one.
of our album City Beautiful, they said pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, I think what really they really captured in that succinct review what we were going for. And I think I told you while we were recording it, I was like, I just want someone to think this is pretty cool, maybe.
And guess at it.
Yeah.
And, you know, we hit the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so our next one comes from a fan named Lily M.
Let me stop you there. Go ahead.
Lily M. from Chicago, Mississippi. She said, "Neat. My favorite song is the album cover." So there's that.
Yeah. A lot of people don't think of the album cover as a song, but we do. And
Say a picture's worth 1,000 words, so it's almost like with that one picture, we have a long, tedious song with 1,000 lyrics.
right, that without a melody or a musical accompaniment.
Well, that's not really, melody's not really a main part of music, though. Would you say?
I wouldn't.
Can
I would.
you say it? Please.
Can we say it out loud?
No. God, no. Hey, listen. Okay. So, now we have now our next one comes from London, Argentina, from Dwight S. And he says, "I hope you got permission for using that photo. P.S. Didn't get a chance to listen." That one made me cry. I mean,
Yeah.
from just how heartfelt it was, and just to know that somewhere out there, there's somebody completely missing the point of what we're doing.
Yeah. Dwight has written reviews for us before, and this is by far his most heartfelt.
Yeah, and kind too.
Yeah.
And Dwight, we wherever you are, we wish you all the best. And how's your mother and stuff?
Yeah. Keep coming back, you know?
Right.
Don't give up.
Right. Okay. Now we got 2 more. Now hold your horses. This next one is addressed, "Hello, Mr. or Mrs. Farewell Teddy Music. Loved your album /song/book/script/artwork/VHS of an interpretive dance! !
Yeah.
Have you considered getting representation? I happen to run a non-profit, for-profit company that represents exactly what you, he, she, or they create! ! So email me, and for a small price, or the price of a cup of coffee a minute, you can," and I'm going to stop there. That's from Mr. M. Poster of the Ponzi for American Artists Group in San Francisco, New Jersey. Now, of all the heartfelt ones, I think that one's probably the most heartfelt.
Well, it's the most sincere, and
There's nothing ulterior on the table there. It was just, there's nothing for him to gain.
no,
He addressed us. I mean, he certainly knew who he was talking about.
yeah. I actually called them, and I think we're gonna take them up on the representation.
Right. And from what I've learned in history, this Ponzi fellow had a good track record, and a lot of people really benefited from his work.
Right.
So we'll give you an update on that. And our final one, this comes from Mr. Cornelius Hummingbird, your cousin in England.
Afghanistan. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
England.
Oh no, your other cousin. Yeah, your other cousin.
Yeah, I thought you were
Cornelius
talking
Hummingbird.
about.
Your third cousin.
Yeah. Yeah.
He hails from eastern Upper South Norfolkshire, England of Wales, which I thought was somewhere in Cleveland, but I digress. He says, "Hello, lads. You should both open your eyes more on your songs. It will really shine through on the recordings, especially." Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
And when you hear critiques like that, you really got to say, "How do I not let this go to my head?"
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta say it. I don't know when, but at some point.
At some point, you gotta
would think
say it.
that would come up.
Now, to wrap things up, I guess we'll talk about our influences,
Yeah.
some of our favorite bands, and what we wanted to accomplish with this music.
I think we were. You go first. You go first. He always does this. Influences. At the time,
This was the early 60s.
yeah, we were both listening to a lot of old, let's say really old recordings of just like when they do like the what do you call them?
Thomas Edison going to the bathroom?
Yeah, yeah. And then a lot of that we were reading.
About Thomas Edison going to the bathroom?
Yeah, yeah. And we were also talking a lot about
Reading?
yeah, and reading a lot about talking. And then when you kind of fuse all those together in this sort of mishmash, sort of hodgepodge, sort of higgledy-piggledy, and
Schlooby-Doo.
yeah, and you kind of meld them all together.
You get something both unique and old,
Right.
which is what we wanted to do when we started this thing.
Yeah, would you say the key adjective here is old? No. I wouldn't, but
God, don't say it.
I didn't know. I was trying to trick you into saying something.
Yeah,
you
he's
mean.
always tricking me into saying the word old. You know, the classic old bit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you're looking for great music, listen to our stuff.
Yeah.
It's indie rock. It's got some folk in there. Sorry, it's not folk, but it is folk.
It's more indie than it is rock, though.
Right. But it's more in than it is deep. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. I would never put it that way.
Anyway, first song's a good intro. It's got some cool stuff. It's got
Yeah.
some speeches from some Newark, New Jersey archives. That kind of sets the tone for this city metaphor that we're all kind of living and breathing in. Then you got
There's a whole. I mean, the found footage genre of
music.
music is really something that's growing, and we wanted to appeal to that crowd, I guess. Like as much as possible, we're trying to appeal to anyone.
Right.
We don't care who.
Or how.
We just want approval and
Yes.
money.
Just want money, never to die,
Yeah.
to be fulfilled all the time.
Yeah.
No one around us to die, to be
Yeah.
healthy all the time,
Yeah.
to be fulfilled. Already said that. To have pleasure and no pain.
Mm,
And it doesn't sound like much, but it's something.
yeah. It's what we're going after, I think.
And if you want to know kind of the backstory of what really influenced us, for all three of you that are listening, look up these songs. These are probably, I'd say, the pinnacle, that's the wrong word, the quintessential songs that really sparked this album. 23 Seconds of Silence by Wilco. There's nothing else needs to be said there. That's an incredible song. It's probably one of their best.
Yeah.
Repeat Return by David Crowder Band. Wild Honey Pie and Revolution Number 9, probably their best, by the Beatles, of course.
Yeah.
And Crayon.
Those are on any greatest hits.
Yeah, they're
Record.
usually number 1 and 2, if
Yeah.
not reverse.
Yeah.
And then Crayons Can Melt on All of Us for All I Care by Relient K. And if you look up those songs, you'll really hear the heart. Of what we're trying to say.